A lot of these things happen. Paul, you're telling a story about Willie Johnston when you played in America. I mean, there was an awful lot of characters. Tell them that story about Willie Johnston. We've got to hear it now.
Willie Johnston's football career was an extraordinary blend of brilliance and controversy, a duality that could only exist in the world of a man whose genius was as unquestionable as his volatility. For many, his raw talent on the wing, the kind that could dismantle defences with an electrifying burst of pace, should have defined his legacy. Yet, just as indelible is the shadow cast by his clashes with authority, his famous temper, and the 20 red cards that punctuated his turbulent time in football. Johnston was not merely a footballer, he was a character in the grandest sense of the word, embodying a footballing paradox that captivated fans and exasperated managers.
You would have been tucked in behind him, wouldn't you? What was it like playing behind him? Because I've heard rumours that he didn't necessarily track back that much.
No, he didn't. But well, to be perfectly honest, because of the ability he had and the pace he had, we would attack him down the left so often.
Born in Cardendon, Johnston's early years in Scottish football showcased an undeniable flair, eventually catching the eye of Rangers, where he would become an integral part of their side. His time at Ibrox saw him reach dizzying heights, none greater than his 2-goal performance in the 1972 European Cup Winners' Cup final against Dynamo Moscow. In that match, he embodied the very spirit of the Rangers' attacking ethos, dismantling opposition defences with ease. His contribution to Rangers' success was beyond dispute, but even in victory, Johnston's career remained a testament to the precarious balance between genius and self-destruction. The speed with which Johnston could undo his own success was staggering. It seemed as though every moment of brilliance on the field was liable to be offset by an explosion of temper or a confrontation with authority.
And Willie Johnston's turned and he's looked and he's seen this chap with a Michelob, right, a can of Michelob, cold can of Michelob. So he's leaned up, he's reached up and he's given it to him and he started to have a drink. Now it's going like 30 seconds, 29, 28, 27. Tony Waite is our coach, he's going absolutely spare on the side.
Preparing for a corner kick that could win it. Never being one to refuse a generous offer. And first things first.
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Make you wanna holler, hally-ho. Burns your tummy, John.
It's in, there's a goal.
Peter Daniel got his first goal of the year. Willie got refreshed. And Vancouver headed home with a character-building 2-1 win.
His fiery temperament became as much a part of his identity as his mesmerizing play. There were early warnings, opponents felled by a quick punch, reckless challenges that ended in dismissal. But it was his infamous World Cup incident in 1978 that truly immortalized his bad boy image. The Argentina episode is one of football's most remarkable tales of individual downfall. Johnston was caught in the swirl of scandal, testing positive for a banned stimulant, Reactivin, supposedly used to treat hay fever. The fallout was swift and brutal. He was sent home in disgrace, his international career over in an instant. For Johnston, it was a bitter pill to swallow, his pleas of innocence lost in the maelstrom of public and media condemnation. Whether or not Johnston was knowingly guilty almost ceased to matter.
He'd been travelling for 3 days, he said, after being smuggled out of the back entrance of Scotland's training camp. He told me he'd spent those 3 days wondering what he would say when he got home. For the first time, he read his own story in the British newspapers, and he didn't like what he saw. Much of what they say about me is wrong, he said, but he did confirm to me that he had taken 2 pills before the match with Peru. He'd had a cold for a week, he said, and thought they might clear his head. But he claimed it never occurred to him the pills contained drugs on the banned list. He wasn't even worried when he took the dope test.
The damage was done, and it seemed to confirm the fears of many who had watched his career. His talent would forever be overshadowed by the chaos he brought upon himself. Yet, there was a strange nobility to Johnston's defiance. His confrontations with authority were not always mindless, and in many ways, they embodied a deep-seated frustration with the constraints placed on players like him. At West Bromwich Albion, Johnston found a club where he could once again showcase his undeniable ability, helping them gain promotion in 1976. But even here, moments of madness peppered his stay, most notably a 2-month ban for punching an opponent. It was as though Johnston was engaged in a perpetual struggle, not just with those tasked with keeping order on the pitch, but with himself. It is perhaps fitting that some of Johnston's most infamous moments took place not in the traditional heartlands of British football, but in the more exotic and uncharted territories of North America's NASL. Playing for Vancouver Whitecaps, his flair and temper combined to produce stories of almost mythic proportions. There was the time he mooned the Seattle Sounders bench after scoring, or when he drank from a fan's beer mid-match before setting up a goal. These were not the actions of a man concerned with reputation. They were the antics of a player who lived football on his terms, however reckless. Johnston's time in North America was not all antics, however. He played an integral role in leading Vancouver to their 1979 NASL Soccer Bowl victory, alongside players like England's World Cup winner Alan Ball. It was a reminder that behind the madness, there was a footballer of the highest caliber, a player who, when focused, could change the course of a match in a heartbeat. There are few players in football who can claim to have had a gun pointed at them during a match. Johnston, of course, can. In a bizarre incident while playing in New York, he was sent off at gunpoint by an overzealous policeman after protesting a referee's decision. It was a moment that summed up the chaotic nature of Johnston's career, unique, dramatic, and entirely unpredictable. For all his missteps, Johnston remains a beloved figure for many. His ability to thrill fans with his quick feet and audacious dribbling made him a hero to the supporters of Rangers, West Brom, and the Vancouver Whitecaps. And though he may have been sent off more times than anyone should be, there was always a sense that this was part of what made him so captivating. Willie Johnston was never going to play the game like everyone else. He was, in every sense, a maverick. In the end, Johnston's career can be seen as a cautionary tale or a celebration of football's wild side, depending on where one stands. What cannot be disputed is that football was never dull with Willie "Bud" Johnston on the pitch. Whether you view him as a flawed genius or a reckless talent, he remains one of the most fascinating figures to ever play the game. Football needs its heroes and villains, and in Willie Johnston, it found both, wrapped up in one unforgettable character.